Hello everyone, in this video I will demonstrate how to solve a problem where we are trying to find out the reorder point when the given demand is probabilistic or the lead time demand is uncertain. So we're gonna do a problem number 29 on page number 455, Floyd Distributors. So here we have been given EOQ quantity 25 mufflers per order. So that means whenever you're placing an order, you are placing for 25 mufflers. Annual demand is 200 mufflers per year. Days in a year, working days in a year equals 250 days. Lead time equals 15 days. That's the number of days between when you place the order and when you actually receive the order. That's lead time. And the daily demand can be found out by dividing the annual demand with the number of working days, and that's roughly around zero point 0.8 mufflers per day. And this is additional detail not given in the book. I just want to make sure that we can cover a little more. So we're gonna give you the ordering cost, which equals $7.80 per order. So every time you're gonna place an order, this is how much it gonna cost you. So first is we need to find the reorder point if Floyd assumes a constant demand rate. That means demand is not changing and on a daily basis, and demand is also constant during the lead time. So so the formula of the reorder point is very simple here. R equals small d times m. M means lead time and d means daily demand. So that gives me 12 mufflers. So here I can do that calculation. That should be equals to daily demand times lead time 15 days, and that's going to give me 12 mufflers. So in other words, if the inventory label falls to 12 mufflers, Floyd should place a new order, because new order is going to take 15 days, and you're going to consume 12 mufflers during those 15 days until the new order arrives. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Now it's I guess too naive to assume that the demand rate is going to be constant. It may vary. It's going to vary on a daily basis. So let's say here the problem here is, now you have to find the reorder point in number 2 if the lead time demand is uncertain and follows a normal distribution. Okay, so the lead time demand is now uncertain. It's not constant, it's not fixed. It follows a normal distribution with the mean demand equals 12 mufflers and standard deviation equals 2.5 mufflers. So that means the mean demand during those 15 days is going to be for 12 mufflers. Okay, if you see, that's what we found out here. So that's a mean demand, but there is a standard deviation, so it can deviate, right? So it can deviate, it can go plus minus 12. So because now it's a probabilistic demand, right? So the standard deviation is given 2.5 mufflers, and we have also given that management is okay to allow one stock out per year. So that's a minimal risk they're willing to assume, okay, for the stock out. Now you can say that, why would the manager want any stock out? And that would be, frankly speaking, too unrealistic, because things gonna happen. If you do not want any stock out, that means you have to carry very high level of inventory, and that may not be feasible. Okay, so you need to find a balance where you can minimize the inventory, but at the same time, you can give decent customer satisfaction level. So you have to have some figure. So here management is willing to take one stock out per year as a risk. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to find the area under the curve, because we have been given the one stock out per year. First we need to find the probability of stock out, which is going to be calculated as a number of stock outs per year divided by number of orders. So number of stock outs per year, we know that it's 1, because that's what it says here. Number of orders per year is going to be annual demand divided by order quantity, right? So annual demand divided by order quantity. So that's give me 8 orders. So out of 8 orders that you're going to place in a year, you can expect 1 to face stock out. So that gives me probability of stock out equals 1/8. and that gives you 0.125. That means 12.5%. There is a chance that you'll face stock out. Okay, that's how you interpret this one. Now we need to find the area that's gonna tell us that, okay, what is the probability of not facing the stock out? That's gonna be 1 minus 0.125, and that should be equals to 1 minus 0.125. 0.875. So 87.5% chances are there that you may not face a stock out. Okay, so we need to find the z value for this area under the curve. So I'm going to open my normal distribution here. Like, I want to make sure I'm sharing the screen. Okay, that's good. Okay, so that's a normal distribution curve here. Okay, this white area here that you see, that's a probability of stock out, which is 12.5%, and this red area here is the area under the curve, and that is 87.5% or 0.875, and that gives me the chance of not facing stock out. So what we need to do is we need to find this z values, these values that you see on the x-axis. They are called z value, number of standard deviation away from the mean. So this is 1 standard deviation away from the mean, this is 2 standard deviation away from the mean, and this is 3 standard deviation away from the mean. So let's go ahead and find out 0.875, which is going to be here 0.875, which is here is 0.8749, very close to 0.875. So what you're going to do is you're going to go across and find the value of z, which is given by 1.1, and then you're going to add, if you go vertically up here, you're going to add 0.0528. So the z value becomes 1.15. So that's what I'm going to use here. So I just want to make sure that I'm sharing the screen. Say, okay, so my z value becomes 1.15 here. Okay, now the reorder point formula, when the lead time demand is probabilistic, is given by mean of the distribution plus z times the standard deviation. So we know the mean, so we're going to find out the reorder point. That's going to be given by the mean plus z times, that's my z value, times standard deviation. So that's 2.5, right? So that's going to give me 14.875. So roughly, you cannot have muffler in fractions, so we're going to round it up. And the reorder point when the demand is probabilistic during the lead time equals 15 mufflers. Okay, so what does this means? Okay, this means that I would not place the order when the inventory drops to 12 mufflers, but I would rather place the order when the inventory drops to 15 mufflers. So I'm carrying 3 extra mufflers in my buffer, just in case we face any stock out, because there is always risk of facing the stock out. So what is the probability that you're not going to face the stock out if you have 3 additional muffler? Well, we already found it out, 87.5% here. So that's 87.5% chance that you will not face a stock out if you carry 3 additional mufflers. So that's how we're getting those 15 mufflers here. Now, the third question is, so we need to find the safety stock level, which we already found, and this annual safety stock cost, if the carrying cost is $5 per unit. So safety stock is just gonna be, I would say this one I need to calculate here. Safety stock equals the reorder point when the demand is probabilistic minus the reorder point when the demand is fixed. So that's going to give me 3 mufflers. That's a stock out, a safety stock that you're carrying. So the holding cost for the normal inventory is not going to change. Okay, whether you have safety stock or not doesn't matter. It will always be the same. So that will be equals to EOQ divided by 2 times, I'm going to say here, my carrying cost per unit per year, that's gonna be giving me $62.50. So that's how much you're gonna it's gonna cost you to carry the inventory annually. Okay, so annual inventory carrying cost. Okay, now the holding cost or the carrying cost, they are the same. For the safety stock is gonna be whatever safety stock you're carrying times the carrying cost. So I'm carrying 3 mufflers times carrying cost, which is $5 per muffler per year. That's going to give me that additional $15 here. So ordering cost is going to be again the constant, doesn't matter on the safety stock. That's going to be given by my uh, annual demand divided by Q times my ordering cost. That's the new information we added, not given in the problem as such. So that's gonna roughly give me 62.4, very close to the holding cost area, and that's we know that at the optimal level they need to be very close to each other, which we have here. So when the lead time demand is constant, the total annual cost is going to be equals to 62.5 plus 62.4. And when the lead time demand is uncertain, that's going to be equals to, I would say, sum of all these three figures here. So that's going to be 139. So extra cost due to uncertainty of demand is going to simply equals to 139 minus 124. That's going to be $15 per year. That's how much extra you're gonna incur if you carry that extra 3 mufflers as a buffer, as a safety stock, and that will prevent you 87.5% of the time um, from stockouts. So that's something you have to keep in mind. With this, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you very much for listening.